Recording to the cloud. I think I am. Yes. Okay.
I thought you were going to talk about the splitting of the bill, like that there was an issue splitting the bill, because that's a whole nother topic in itself. Splitting the bill. Should the birthday person pay for the bill? Should everyone split it? Because, you know, some people use it as their opportunity. Oh, I'm going to choose some lobster, knowing good and well on your own. You ain't going to buy no lobster, hoping that people split the bill equally.
I mean, I think it comes up mostly when there's men at the table. If the women should have to split the bill, right? Isn't that the new conversation?
Yeah. Interesting times. Okay, we're all good. We're recording. Hello and welcome back to Date with the Divas. We hope you've been enjoying our videos. If you haven't subscribed, please take a second to click on that subscribe button and don't forget to like our videos. Also click on that notification bell. You won't regret it. Trust and believe. The Divas are a sure thing. Entourage. Grab your beverage of choice. Whoops, whoops. And
Did you start drinking already?
no, I didn't, but my straw was gonna come out. I didn't want to drop it. Why you shout me out?
Do you have a martini glass or a regular glass?
No, this is
Oh, that's like a Red Lobster glass.
big glass.
I need one of those.
I know. I think everyone needs one of those in their lives. I got a small one.
It's a parfait glass.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Snooty,
Regular
snooty.
old wine glass for me.
I love it though because it's so big. But anyway,
You can be up all night.
Clearly evident that yeah.
all right, Alicia, just start us off, please.
All right. Well, since we had like a long week, y'all, it's time to keep it light and cute. So, a lot of people watch Bridgerton. I don't know if anyone on this panel, does anyone on this panel look at Bridgerton?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So I guess that's one out of
No.
Now
Yeah,
you
I
all
don't know
know.
what
I've
y'all
heard
missing.
of it. I've heard
Entourage,
of
y'all
it.
better write about Bridgerton and tell them you are missing out.
Ouch.
Exactly. Number one show every
Queen
time it comes out.
Charlotte, come on now. Y'all know that was so sweet.
It was.
Yeah, number one show every time. So they recently released who the next season is going to be about, which is going to be about Benedict. So it made me think about the recent controversy of season 3's ending. So I'm not going to give all of season 3 away or anything like that for those who haven't watched it, but
But
the
we
main
may have some
controversy-
spoilers just in case. Sorry, my
Okay,
papa.
yeah, so there will be a little bit of spoilers about the end of it, but not the whole, season. We're just going to focus on a couple of characters. Season 3 towards the end, even though it was one sibling story, another sibling, because it's like 12 kids or something, 12, 13 kids.
Why gotta be 12 or 13 kids?
It's
They
just a
only
lot.
go up to letter H. So
Oh.
each of the children are A through H.
But
Don't
someone
do
is
that.
watching this, Lava.
Now, back in those days,
They're
people
the
had a lot of
Waltons.
kids. I know, but their kids are named A through H. The
Yes.
first one, who's
Anthony. Mhm.
Anthony down to Hyacinth.
Yeah.
Hyacinth.
Yeah.
That's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, so it was about Colin, but they decided to sprinkle a lot in a Francesca story. So Francesca, she's like, what, the third, fourth, fifth kid, F, you figure it out.
Gotta figure it out.
A, B, C, D, E, F. I can't.
Let me get myself together.
But you have to understand, she's F, but she's actually only the third girl.
Mhm.
Yeah, the third girl to actually be presented. Yeah, that's right.
Right.
She's a third, right? 1, 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a third girl.
Yeah. Well, in the final moments of season 3's ending, Francesca, she actually gets married in that story. And she actually ends up getting married to another character named John. Nice and handsome. And
John's supposed to be black on the show?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Color means
There's a
nothing.
mixed color is
Color
not an
means
issue on the
color,
show.
yes.
on
very-
this show.
It's a very mixed show.
Okay.
So season 2 had Indians.
Mm-hmm.
Or sorry, that's wrong. That's not politically correct.
Oh, so it's like Hamilton.
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
Ding, 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 ding.
Got it.
Yeah, there's a lot of chocolate love going on in the Bridgerton family. So another YouTuber pointed that out. I was like, you know what, you show is right. Most of these Bridgertons love them some chocolate. Okay, but anyway. So she marries him, and in the absolute last scene, he introduces his cousin. Now, in the book, his cousin is a man named Michael, but then dun dun dun, when they do the revealing scene, we end up seeing Michaela. And that's who Michaela is right there. And a lot of people were in a huff about it. Some people were saying that it was taking away the integrity of the story because you literally changed a man to a woman from the book. It's one thing to change a race. It's one thing to change maybe age or something like that, an accent, no accent. But to fully change a gender is really going to change a lot in Francesca's storyline, mainly because
Apparently not. Because, sorry, my bad. Sorry.
This is what their complaint is because in the books, at some point, Francesca does marry the Michael character, who now is a woman, but
Wait, Francesca marries her husband's brother?
No,
Yes. In the book.
cousin.
Because
John
her husband-
eventually dies.
He
yeah,
dies.
sorry, spoiler alert, John eventually dies.
John
So-
dies.
Yeah. And part of Francesca's main struggle is infertility. And so people are like, how's she gonna have infertility issues being married to a woman?
And she does end up having 2 kids.
Yes.
Right,
And
in the
they're
book.
like,
So that brings, and we're our book club. We do read books around here, some of us. And so this is the author right there, Julia Quinn. And so she had a response to it. And the gist of her response is that she spoke directly with the showrunner and with Shondaland to kind of make sure that they weren't losing the integrity of the story. She said, quote unquote, she says, I trust Shondaland's vision for Bridgerton, but I wanted to be sure that we could remain true to the spirit of the book and the characters. Jess, the showrunner, and I talked for a long time about it. More than once, I made it clear that it was extremely important to me that Francesca's abiding love for John be shown on screen. And I'm confident now that when Francesca has her debut, her highlight season, it will be the most emotional and heart-wrenching story of the show, just like the title of the book is called When He Was Wicked, has always been the true tearjerker of the Bridgerton book series. Honestly, it may even pack more of a punch since John is getting a lot more time on the screen than he ever did on page. And I think it's fair to say we've all fallen a bit in love with him. So ladies, what do you all think as fellow book readers, book novelists and stuff? Is changing a character's gender going too far in an adaptation? What do you think?
Can I ask if Shonda Rhimes explained why the gender was changed?
Shonda Rhimes herself.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember why. I know there was an interview with her, and she discussed very
About
that she had a conversation with the author, like she didn't want to do the change without the okay from the author. But I cannot recall why she wanted to do it.
Other than them saying being inclusive of people, but they already have a character.
The whole story has everything in there, and that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
But
that was my first thing. I thought it was, kind of like going along with the times and making it inclusive. But then I thought about that season in general, this past season in general, basically reflected a whole lot of polyamorous relationships.
Yeah, but that's what I mean by this is in character Shonda Rhimes, where she kind of spins the wheel, I mean,
pushes the envelope.
We're watching this. I mean, even the music that plays on the show is popular music, but they put it in a operatic type form, so she's very meticulous, if you want to say, about these changes.
But I do also want to correct that Shonda Rhimes isn't really writing this. She has a showrunner who's in charge of it.
To go back to your original question, Alicia, when they're doing changes between books and changing the movies parting away from the books, from whatever amount of changes, I don't know, whatever, it's depends on the changes. And I know, like, sometimes, you know, you got the movie has to be visually pleasing. It has to
Mhm.
move. You have to attract an audience. You need to attract more than one audience. I mean, they have to make money off of this, you know, and the money is, you know, the making the film in terms of recouping the monies is going to be more expensive than a book, you
Right.
know. So I can see why they would have to do changes. Now when they go you know, way off course, that can be a bad thing,
I
right?
agree.
It can go what is it, left very quickly or wrong very quickly, or
I I
whatever you call
I
it.
agree.
Yeah.
But it can be good too, you know. Some things can be okay.
That's true.
So I don't think there's a wrong or a right answer to this. I think it's more of a preference, because
Mhm.
you as the reader, you're expecting a lot of things. You know, I think that was one of the things people talked about with the Harry Potter series, where it followed really close to the
The
book.
book.
And so the readers that watched the movie were happy with that, because
It was
it
so close.
yeah, it went along with what was in their mind, what they thought, you know?
Mhm.
So yeah, I think that's a subjective question, really.
And it's
Yeah.
very much, I think it's very much hit or miss. You
Mhm.
know, you as you know, as you like what they call a showrunner, as a producer, you have to know, I think you have to have a bond with that writer, you know, or relationship, a close relationship with that writer, you know, to for them to feel comfortable. And I think the person who actually birthed it, if they can feel like, okay, I can see where you're going with it, then it kind of maybe that kind of adds to, you know, the energy of it all, as well as, you know, I think that when I think about me as a watcher of the show, the sex of that particular character doesn't really make a difference to me. But I think that to some people, you know, I think because of the fact that I think some of the criticism was that it takes away from the love that Francesca and John had,
Mhm.
because now you're adding like a queer story to it, so it's a little bit different. So you know, but to me, like Joe said, I don't think that it really makes. To me, I think it's hit or miss.
Mhm. Yeah. True. True. And I just also looked up if the author said anything. I mean, not if the showrunner said why she did it. I just basically it's just saying queer representation, but there is queer things in there though. So you know,
Oh,
I,
so Francesca gets romantically involved with Michaela.
yes.
Yes, they apparently from the book and the what you call it, they fell in love at first sight. It was like a love at first sight type of thing. And
The TV show.
The TV show, not the book.
on the TV show.
That's another thing that people complained about was because during that last scene, Francesca's stuttering like, "Oh, I'm so caught off guard by her beauty," kind of thing, type of stuttering, you know. And it's like, wait a
Mhm.
minute, you just got married 2 seconds ago.
But also the conversation previous with her mom
Yeah.
is that she talks about like when you're in love or
Yeah.
you can't talk or you can't whatever. So they kind of played on that as well.
What do you think, Antrese, about films taking some liberties with the books?
My bigger issue is taking liberties with the time period. I
Mhm.
feel like if you're gonna have a show about characters in the 19th century, it looks like it's the 19th century that this takes place. Why not just be true to the stories of that time? I don't know. I just think when you start,
Because then you wouldn't see us.
And that's what I was just about to say. We'd
or
be
you would see
slaves.
us in a different light, maybe we wouldn't be, you know, at the ball
I
dancing with the main characters, but certainly people of color existed in this country
Yeah.
during that
In the
time.
background.
exactly.
Well, Downton Abbey did a great job. I don't know if you guys watched that, of showing
Yes.
upstairs, downstairs. The servants had a full life.
Exactly, but there weren't many of us in Downton Abbey.
Exactly.
No. I'm just saying you could
Oh.
tell our story and their story at the same time as Downton Abbey did. They told the story of the aristocratic
Right.
people and the servants, and they intertwine sometimes, but realistically, I like historical novels that kind of stay true to the time, because it's I think there's interesting stories of every time period. And
Well, I
it's,
will
just
say
you know,
gay
Go
people have
ahead,
been
Alexa.
around for centuries though. So I think there were gay people back in that
Yeah,
time.
but I don't think
Maybe
it was
not as
out in the
loud as being
open and you were
married.
getting married to these people. I don't think
Maybe
that
not
was.
to married, but they were definitely together.
No, they haven't, most of the stuff is in the secret, like it's behind closed doors.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
All of this stuff is behind closed doors, but I'm, and Joe, you correct me if if we're not on the same path. I feel like I like the fact that I can watch this. I know what that time existed. I know what happened in that time, but to kind of see some representation of Blacks, there's Asians, there's everybody in there, and they're all different levels of, there are poor white people, there are rich Black people, there are poor, everybody is represented, and it's like, who cares what the color is? It's all about the acting, it's all about the characters, and to see it just
historical accuracy.
But
yeah, it's not real. It's not even because again, it's not even trying to be about. It's not trying to strictly stay historically accurate
exactly.
because, like I mentioned earlier. Oh wait, this was before we started.
Before Charlotte,
about the music.
Mhm.
This is popular music, but then they put it in,
operatic with violins and
Right.
strings.
exactly. So it's, and even the way the fashion is, it takes some liberties too.
Exactly.
So I kind of feel that it's it's truly bringing you into Shondaland because
The creativity, it just draws you in based on the to see Charlotte with these like Queen Charlotte with these wigs that is like representative of today.
There's like a bird cage.
There's a bird and there's a pond in there or whatever, but like it's representative, like, when they used to have those wig shows and you'd have these people with these extravagant wigs and colors, they're doing the same exact thing. So it's like it's a play on it. But I get what you're saying about historical, because there are some historical pieces in there, but I think it's exactly.
It just seems like, to answer your question, Alicia, from my point of view, once Shonda bought the rights, she went into fantasy land. So who cares?
Right.
I mean, pig me and fly, right?
Right. Michelle, did you want to say anything? What's your opinion about it?
I just think that whenever any type of writing is adapted for the screen, whether it's a movie screen or a TV screen, things get lost. But I do see the argument of those who are fans of the book because they want it's not an inconsequential change. It's a major change to the arc of the character of Francesca. So I see it both ways, but I tend to prefer books to adaptation. So for me, it does irk me when they stray too far.
Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this,
Can I ask a question? Do the books include all this inclusivity?
No.
So they're all white characters, mostly in the books.
I haven't read it, but I assume they're all white. But
I'm assuming, what? I'm trying to think of, because I only read one, and I didn't complete it, because the movie the series came out, and I'm trying to think of how they describe, how they describe the other characters. I'm assuming, based on the author, that it was probably mainstream.
So, like I said, Shonda took it into fantasy land from the get-go. So what difference does it make?
Right. Yeah. But do you think it's also another question off of that a little bit is, do you think it's part of this whole making every TV show woke? There's always got to be one Black friend, there's always got to be one Hispanic friend now. You think it's doing too much inclusivity? Because it does sound like you want like the historical accuracy.
Every daggone commercial, every daggone commercial is an interracial couple with a biracial child. And I'm just like, really? But you know what? We're trying to be looking what reality is, what we see actually, so.
Obviously, I'm for inclusivity in the arts, obviously. But I don't think we should know, but I don't think there's any need for us to rewrite history to do that, personally.
Okay. Because I'm even thinking about like Black Cake. How I read the book and I watched the series, and the differences, a lot of the differences of the character, of the heart of the character, I was disappointed in some as it related to some of the characters. Like they were made stronger in the book and weaker in the movie. But overall, did it make a difference in how I felt about the overall book? No, it didn't, because I still felt that the production, the movie production the series, sorry, was still good. Did I feel the book was better? Most definitely, but it didn't take away from me, it didn't take away a lot from me.
Right.
But
Okay, cool.
I don't watch the series, but I do like the concept of her including other races because, for on Teresa's point, to be historically accurate, right? Like the adaptation of Pride and Prejudice, right? That's a period piece. You don't
Mhm.
see any minorities in that movie. Same thing with Jane Eyre. Those are all Caucasian. So I like that she took liberties in that sense, that it was, you have other races being represented.
And again, the way she is doing it, you don't mind it so much. Like I don't feel, in my opinion, I don't feel it's taking away from the story when you see, the different races, and happen. It's I don't even know how to say it. It doesn't take away from the
It doesn't
story
take away from it
plot,
for you, but I wonder if
yeah,
it takes away from it from some
from
other
some of the
Caucasian
readers.
people.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I
Some
said, that's why I
people
started with,
who
in my
don't look like,
opinion.
some people who don't look like us might be feeling differently about
I
it.
get you.
For you, it's seamless. Just like for you, the race stuff is seamless, but the gender stuff is not. The gender stuff makes you uncomfortable. Whereas for a gay
Exactly.
person watching the show, they'd be like, hallelujah.
Yeah,
But someone who doesn't want to
and that's
see.
what I saw in some of the comments, where some of the comments was like, they were really upset about this whole storyline possible change, and another person was like, "Hey, for the gays, that was a quote, and it's again, it's tomato tomato, but where this is the whole point of it. You're asking opinions and how people feel about it, so."
Mhm.
And that's why I started with, in my opinion, it doesn't take away
Yeah.
from it, as a minority.
Gay, hey, going too far now.
Oh, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Don't put words in my mouth. I didn't say that.
I
But
think the
That was good.
criticism was how do you address the issues that Francesca
yes.
faces in the book with a female partner as opposed to a male partner. But, you know, members of the LGBT community do deal with infertility.
Yes, they do.
Mhm.
So that's not, exclusive to,
Right.
a
Yeah. It's just
male and a
harder back
female.
then, though. Mhm.
And I
And
think they solved it all with, having her. She was infertile, and then she ends up having a child. So they solved that, and they got that out the way, and now she can move forward with whatever.
and
If
again,
they
we're
do it
making
that way.
inferences because we don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Speaking of Bridgerton being inspired by, I just heard some top news that Bridgerton is such a popular show that it inspired the all the couple scene pop icon Jennifer Lopez. She had her 55th birthday, and it was all in the theme of Bridgerton. Yes, a 55-year-old woman had a Bridgerton theme birthday party. Guests were required to dress like they were in the Bridgerton series. She had 4 or 5 different outfits.
She had dancers. She had an
Yeah.
orchestra playing classical music. Guests were brought in on a horse and carriage, like a real horse-drawn
Yeah.
carriage.
Yeah, we'll insert some pictures here and there. All right, let me see.
And they've been doing that though, those Bridgerton parties and stuff like this. I know people that have gone to them and had a fantastic time.
Oh, so that's not a new thing she was doing.
No.
Oh, okay.
So is she too old to be doing theme parties or what?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so, because people do what's that thing? That movie, the book,
Great Gatsby.
Great Gatsby. So I don't think I'm just over her. So that's my only, whatever. But they have
I would
like
find a Great Gatsby theme. That's a good point.
My only thing was that to me it just it's nice to have that theme, sure, fine. But like 5 different outfit changes scream 16-year-old to me. Like one outfit is enough, you know.
She was giving Sweet
She
16.
was having
quinceañera.
fun. It was her day, her party.
Okay.
Okay.
Purple.
Do you, boo?
Right.
I think we should note her husband elected to stay home in Los Angeles.
Right. He wasn't gonna look a fool either. He was like, I barely want to see you in your regular clothes. I don't want to see you in no Bridgerton clothes. I was kidding.
Wow.
Uh-uh.
But anyway.
You're just making up stories, Alicia.
Right.
Let me find out you and Jennifer and what's his name are having private conversations.
She in the West Wing watching all of this.
Right.
Thank you. Or she had a, she put a camera on Jennifer Lopez's dog while she,
Yeah. I got my ways.
I seriously see Ben Affleck at a Bridgerton themed party.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I could see him doing it. I could see him
No.
dressed.
No.
Not unless there's a check involved for a movie.
Exactly, because he's done it
For
Huh.
pay.
for pay. Exactly. He's like, boo, you ain't paying me. No, I ain't going.
All right, y'all. Let us know what you guys think. First, let us know what you think about Bridgerton's changing gender storylines. Are you here for it? Against it? And then also us know if you think a 55-year-old is going too far trying to have a themed birthday party, or you know what, give you an idea to do one for yourself. Let me know. Let us know.
What would it be?
We want some birthday ideas too. Something. All right, let's move on to our final topic. So to keep it on the lightheartedness, guess what we have going on this weekend? Paris 2024 Olympics are this weekend, starting this Friday. Yay.
Woo!
Olympics.
Yes, they'll be going through until August 11th. So we have quite a few weeks to look at this. They have over about 32 sports, and a lot of awards to give out. And I guess they decided to, keep up with the changing times, since it has been quite a long time that Olympics been around, that they've decided to add a new sport called breaking. So you're like, what the heck is breaking? Well, let me tell you. Breaking is known as breakdancing. Some people call themselves B-boys or B-girls. It's Arabic style of street dancing that developed in the 1970s. There's look at some of those examples. They get on their heads, they do all kind of aerobatics of different types of dancing to hip hop music, which started, up in Bronx, New York and stuff like that. They do extreme flexibility, superior strength, and many of these dancers are self-taught. So let me tell you a little bit of history. Breaking was first added to the 2018 Youth Olympic Games in Buenos Aires. And thanks to its wild success, I didn't even know it did it then, so I guess so. But thanks to its wild success, they decided to make its official debut at this year's Paris Olympic Games. That said, breaking's inclusion in the games was met with some criticism by those who are concerned that it could affect the dance's authenticity, because it's known for being in the streets, being part of the culture. But if it's not going to be on the TV screens where every person can possibly do it, or you have to be some top athlete, but yet maybe not the person down the street who is a great dancer might not get invited to it, this is sort of like, take away that barrier there. And I also want to note too that this year's Olympics, they took away baseball and softball and karate to have breaking and added breaking. So they took away an official sport that we know is an official pro league sport to have breaking. What do you guys think? Was it a good idea or a bad idea to add in breakdancing?
This is what a prime example. I'm sorry, and they're probably going to take away my black card, but it's a prime example of when they're just doing too much. You're doing too much,
right?
And I agree with you. I agree with you totally.
You're doing too much. Like, I get you. We're trying to be inclusive, blah 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 blah, blah, but it's too much. It's too much.
And I it's too much. And I agree that I understand, like,
subjective.
It takes athleticism. It does.
100%.
But you know what? Like, I was a cheerleader. Do I, cheerleader, they don't claim cheerleading as a sport or whatever the case may have you. And it requires, a level. But you know what? I don't want to see cheerleading in the Olympics. I really, really don't. You know, I would rather stick to this may seem bad, like they may take whatever card they need to take, but to take away like karate, jujitsu, like boxing and that type of stuff, I feel like we're doing too much. We're doing too much. I'm just in it for the soccer.
We know that.
I went to gymnastics too.
I'm in it for the basketball.
Yeah. I just think if you're taking away other actual pro sports for this sort of thing to add on the ticket, to me, that's where the problem lies to me, because now you're shortchanging baseball and softball.
These people that were, you're preparing
for
that time, like.
Because now pickleball is supposed to be included in that. I'm like, really?
It's like, come on, like, they ain't gonna put handball in there. Like, stop.
No, handball is included in there.
Oh, God.
Yes.
That's just ridiculous. Now, that's definitely doing team too much.
Handball is included in the Olympics.
Yes.
Now,
how are you going to judge this sort of stuff? Like,
because I saw that there was a game of Japan versus somebody, and I'm going to look at it.
Okay, yeah. And it's sort of like, how are you going to authentically judge breakdancing? Number one, like, I want to see who these judges are, because it's probably going to be some stuffy old white people or stuffy old Parish people, French people who don't know nothing about hip hop.
No, they had to. I'm sure they had to put, people
who are dancers.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm sure they had to choose people that have to know about it at least.
Thank you.
I read that the way they were going to score them is similar to how they score
ice skating.
Ice skating, where there's a technical component and then there's like a creative component. But unlike figure skating, they won't know what music they will be dancing to. So they will also get judged on improvisation and how well they adapt to whatever the music they're going to.
Well, get ready to be harshly judged. They better talk to what's her name, Bonale, the Bonale girl, Surya or whatever.
The one that did the flip.
The French skater.
Yeah, I remember.
About the judging and being harsh.
Handball, like tomorrow, Denmark versus Slovenia. Yeah, so handball is inside of the Olympics.
Is in there. Oh wow. I don't know now. You're putting.
I mean, I don't mind that they added a different category. What I don't like is that they removed other official.
Because isn't the Olympics like only supposed to be 2 weeks? We'll be watching it for a month. Nobody's gonna be watching it.
That is true.
Right. So true. Yeah, and my hard part with that too is that whoever they get to be the breakdancers, no offense, but if you're not really known to anybody in any who's representing America, like I don't even know those people. You're like, it's like,
I guess the team preparing for this.
Well, they said 16.
16 men and 16 girls.
Exactly.
So they got to get those people from somewhere. But yet, how are these people even trying out for this thing? Like, who determines who is just the best breakdancer? Like, I just.
They went to the breakdancers have that. They have competitions though, don't they?
I'm sure they have competitions.
I think they have like world competitions.
So you can't just knock on the door and say, "Hey, I'm a breakdancer."
Thank you. I saw it on 42nd Street. You was in front of Times Square.
All I'm thinking
I'm
about.
Real good.
What's the movie? What's the movie from with if you got that movie with the people from that group with Little Kim and which movie?
Find your words, Lava. Find your words.
No, I can't think of the movie. Fat Man Scoop. That's if you got the fake.
Break into Electric Boogaloo.
No, I'm talking about
you
more recent
served?
with
You guys got
served?
Yeah, just served. Exactly. When I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking about served in a mall and people doing competitions like that. And I'm like, how? But I'm gonna give
I do believe they do have like these competitions, I'm sure
you can't just fly to Paris and say, "My mom thinks I'm real good. I'm gonna compete tonight."
Look at my head spin.
Right. You never know. Shoot.
So, Alicia, what sports did they take away again?
Baseball and softball and karate.
I would
Baseball?
imagine because
Come
nobody
on.
was
Ball drop.
interested in those sports. They must not be that popular.
It might not create.
But are they gonna actually televise it?
Because really, when you're
Right.
thinking about the Summer Olympics, right? What are your top three that come up in your head?
Exactly. They're struggling a bit.
Yeah,
They
maybe
are,
that's what-
because everyone's watching track and field, gymnastics,
Mhm.
And that's it.
Swimming.
Oh, and
swimming.
swimming.
I watch basketball, so
But those
and
are the top
basketball.
three that come up, I
Yeah.
think. And
yeah.
maybe-
So
Oh, but some
they've
people
gotta
watch.
they've
Uh-huh.
got to stay current and relevant and get people captivated. So I do
Yeah.
think they do need to add new elements that are in line with people.
now they're gonna have dance. Just
I think
regular
they should. They should have cheerleading.
Ballroom,
What's
as
wrong with
they mentioned.
cheerleading? Cheerleading is a sport.
No,
it is
I-
a sport, but I
no,
don't want to see it at the
I-
Olympics.
But
Right
I
now,
love a good
think maybe
cheerleading
ballet.
competition.
maybe I
Because
don't
that's
want
really
change. I
intense
don't
and hard.
want
Ballet,
change.
I would.
I think it's not good.
I might start watching if they added cheerleading.
No. But I think like ballet, like actual dance that requires
It's too
extreme
much.
technique.
It's too much. It's too much.
No, ballet is an art form. It's not. I don't think it's considered a sport.
So, but isn't then that
They
would
got
mean
basic.
how do you call it? Breakdancing is an art form.
Right.
Argument can
Yeah.
be made. Sure.
So, Antrice, you really think that this is
They
going to
didn't
pull
get
the younger
who
audience?
voted because I didn't vote.
I just think that, the Olympics has been around for centuries, right? They've had to add new things in as the times change.
I agree, but breakdancing,
Breakdancing?
you couldn't have picked something else.
Wasn't on the committee. I don't know.
You see,
Clearly,
you weren't on the
we were
committee.
not
They
on the
didn't
committee.
ask the divas. That's what the thing was.
That was
Okay.
the
What
pro-
would
that
you
was their
guys-
first.
what would
That was
you
their first.
guys
Okay.
have added
So-
instead?
Right.
What would you
Thank
have
you,
added?
Antrice.
Go,
I-
Michelle.
No, over the weekend I watched John Oliver, and he did a segment about the World Games, and the World Games are actually the audition for the Olympics. So like sports or
Oh.
new things, and one of them is a dance sport. Dance sport is, I guess, a category in the World Games. So I don't think it came out of left field that they chose breaking. I think it was maybe the more popular thing watched in the World Games. And cheerleading is also in the World Games.
Oh, who knew?
And orienteering is a category. Yes, in the World Games. That was mentioned in John Oliver. And I looked it up. It's true. Orienteering.
Go, Michelle. You're always the
Okay.
one that gives us the facts. I appreciate you.
Right. Okay, but for the audience that doesn't know, for them, I'm asking for them. What is orienteering?
Orienteering is basically navigating using a map.
Oh, okay.
Like
You
a
know what?
tangible map.
But I
don't
applaud
say-
you for not knowing and asking. Use your words, Alicia. Use your words.
But in response to Alicia's question,
so,
I
um,
would
Antrice has a
choose.
request.
I would choose. I would actually watch, like, I don't know, like ballroom dancing, right?
Is that
Because
not
they
in the Olympics?
no.
Well, that should be.
See, I
Yeah.
could take that. I think
Yeah,
I
that
could
should-
take that.
Because
But
it's
again, that's
very
so
it's very similar
subjective
to
too.
ice
Yeah.
skating. It's very
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
okay. I could do that. I could do that. Yeah. Y'all should have asked the divas. We would have did ballroom
yeah.
dancing.
That
Right.
might have
Then
been a
okay.
more logical transition.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's just looking to me like you're just looking for ratings. You want people to watch.
What's
like,
wrong with
you have-
that?
it's
They gotta make money.
Thursday.
off
Déclassé.
these
I'm
Thursday.
sorry.
It's déclassé. Yes. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
come on,
Olympics,
divas.
I got a little
Déclassé.
bit more for you. I'm just sorry.
Come
I'm sorry.
on.
It
Give the
doesn't-
street kids a
doesn't-
chance.
But guess what? It's got street kids that are
I
going.
will watch it. I will watch it. Yeah, I'm talking out of two sides of my mouth. That's right. I will watch it. But it would not have been my choice. How about that?
But we have to acknowledge, those of us who were around in the 80s, that breakdancing is highly skilled and highly
Most
athletic.
definitely, but I don't want to see it in the Olympics.
Of all the dance, I think breakdancing is probably the hardest in terms of what they're asking their bodies to do.
Yes. I agree with you. I agree. Again.
I just don't want to see it in the Olympics.
I want to see voguing.
Nah, that's not you. What new sport would you add?
Okay,
Lava?
y'all. That's why she was not asked to vote.
That's why I wasn't on the
Exactly.
committee.
She just messed it up for all of us. They be like, oh, that one? Oh, none of y'all can come.
Hey, call her on the committee. We gonna get boogied.
What would you add, Lava?
Yeah, you know what? I don't know. I am like, again, I'm not taking away from the athleticism that comes with all of these, but I am like a true, like, I may not watch certain things, but like track and field, baseball, I don't even know. I'm surprised that they don't add football in there, but that's a whole nother beast. But I'm all about the sports.
Even
know,
though
Lack of a
ice
better word.
skating, I believe ice skating is the most highly rated sport in the Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
And
okay.
I would
But
watch
you know
it, and
what?
that's why I would watch it. Yeah.
What is watched more, the Summer Olympics or the Winter Olympics?
Winter.
For real?
I think so. Well, I mean, we can look into it.
I
I know
Summer
gymnastics
Olympics.
is the most highly rated in the summer.
Summer. I would
Yeah.
figure that and track and field.
Mhm.
But I read that the ice skating is the most highly rated. It's always, that's why it's always prime time.
Yeah.
Mm,
I
True.
like to see the ice skating though.
I like ice skating. You know what? I even like the rhythmic swimming. I think it's rhythmic swimming.
Yes,
Oh,
those
yeah,
are
that's cool to watch.
nice.
That's
That
cool to
when I'm
watch.
watching them underwater and the
Gotta breathe.
synchronized
They
swimming and that stuff, that requires a lot. And that, like, I commend them. And they're underwater and they're all doing this and their feet are doing something else.
But there might have been a time when people were like swimming. How is that an Olympic sport? You just get in the water and you swim. Like,
True that.
But there's actual swim competitions that are popular. Like, I guess it's because of popularity to me. I'm like, who watches breakdancing competitions? Nobody, but their friends.
But I think though that the argument is breakdancing is more subjective than swimming. You
Mhm.
can say who can swim from one end of the thing, pool to the
Fast.
other with this particular stroke. That's not someone judging like, oh, that one,
Well,
stroke is better. Because
but
it's
then,
more on speed, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't watch swimming.
well, some of it, because like the diving, they can't do the splash and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And the form, the tippy toes, and they're going over the line, that type of stuff. But I would think too, because you guys mentioned the skating.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of that is, it's athleticism as well, but also because of the dance moves and all of this type of stuff too. So then I guess they have to find a way for it to be technical and subjective, I guess, at the same time. So I guess that's probably how they're going to have to do with the breaking, the different types of, moves would be technical, but then the other stuff would be subjective, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just sorry, y'all. This side says no, but this side says I'll watch it.
Yeah.
So let us know what you think, because clearly we're on the fence and confused.
That part. Yep. And would you be watching it? Will you tune in just to see what it looked like the first time around? Would you support? Let us know. Give us the highlights if you do watch it. Let us know on our Twitter, our YouTube, our Insta, and all that sort of stuff.
The Summer Olympics are more popular.
Okay.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Right.
Do you know what sport? Is it gymnastics?
That would be interesting.
Well, the summer gets 3 billion, the winter gets 1.9. So the summer is actually much more.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what
Most
I
popular.
guess too, because people are vacationing during that time too, right? So
That's
more people can go to be a spectator.
And then plus, I hate to say it, most TV shows aren't really new and airing in the summertime like they are in the fall and winter. So
Oh yeah, that's true.
If
too.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
there's
I
no
took that
TV
precedent.
on.
Sorry.
There's no competition.
You are a captive audience for the Summer Olympics.
Because there's nothing else to watch. Everything's on repeat.
Soccer, basketball, gymnastics are the most popular.
Would you say soccer?
Soccer, basketball.
Soccer?
Soccer's popular worldwide, not in the US.
Yeah,
in the rest of the world.
Yes.
So soccer, it says basketball and then Olympics. I'm sorry, gymnastics.
Gymnastics.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in with us. And like we said, just leave your comments and let us know what you think. Are you a break dancer? Would you wish you could go to the Olympics? Did they not reach out to you? What? Let us know. We'll advocate
Didn't ask your
next
opinion.
time. Right.
All right, y'all. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in. Catch y'all next week.
With her voguing. I can't.
Look, I'm leaving on the recording just for that.
Just
Break my fourth
can't.
wall in.
All right.